If they don't pay, they won't play. What does that mean? Reminds me of a friend of mine. Her name's Annie. First time I ever coached with her. She did not have a make money offer. She didn't have a weight loss offer. She didn't have a relationship offer. She had I'm going to help people get control over their alcohol offer. I'm going to help people get control over their alcohol. Okay, so she said to me, we were both speaking at a conference. She said to me, Myron, hey, I've got my conference coming up. I've got my conference coming up in 2 weeks, my event. I said, how many people are coming to it? She said, 170. I said, oh, great. She said, yeah, do you have any tips for me? I said, it depends. What are you selling? She said, I'm not selling anything. What? I said, is it okay if I coach you? She said, sure. I said, that is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. I said, if you're not selling anything, what are you doing? She said, oh, I created this manual. It's 70 pages, and we're going to go through the manual at the workshop. I said, can I coach you again? She said, yeah. I said, that is the second worst idea I've ever heard in my life. She said, what should I sell? I said, well, here's the problem. If they don't pay, they won't play. What does that mean? The heart follows the pocketbook. If you don't sell them something, they're not going to take whatever your solution is seriously enough to go do it. So I said, here's what you do. Go create. She said, well, what should I sell? I said, take the manual that you created and turn it into a coaching program. She said, how much should I sell it for? Like she had so much aversion to this. You have no idea. I said, how much would make you smile? Say, what's that called? That's called the smile test. How much would make you smile? She said, I don't know, $4,000. I said, great. Sell it for $6,000. She's like, what? She's like, what? And yeah, sell it for $6,000. But how do you do that? Well, I said, well, I got good news for you. I said, it just so happens, this was on a Saturday, and I know some of you are going to think this is really self-interested, but wait till the end of the story. She made the offer, and guess what happened? She called me in tears. Myron, they came to me thanking me in tears for creating this offer. And she didn't do $170,000 in sales. She did $260,000 in sales because she clearly described she had a problem that people couldn't solve. They couldn't get control over their alcohol. The problem was recognizable. The problem was measurable. I showed her how to measure not having the result.